Talktainment Radio Worldwide Sound. Talktainmentradio.com. We give you a reason to come. The world's greatest radio. We give you a reason to stay. Radio, the way it should be heard. You got the power.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Oh, here we go, baby. We got B and D and CL.
All right, here we go. Yeah. TalkTainmentRadio.com, we go where you go, the world's greatest radio. You are now in touch with Talking Sports Plus with Mr. Bobby and Trent, and you are hearing it on TalkTainmentRadio.com, the radio the way it should be heard. Good evening, Trent, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself, Mr. Bobby?
You are doing well. Isn't it next week that we go into Daylight Savings Time?
I think so.
All righty. If you would like to get in contact with the show, you can do so by calling 1-877-932-9766. You can also do this. Go to the TalkTainmentRadio.com homepage and hit the Listen Live button, and you're there. You're right there. You don't need to do no more than that. But if you'd like to see us, I don't know why they would like to see us, Trent.
I know.
But if you'd like to see us and hear us as we do our thing, you can go to the YouTube channel, type in the word Talktainment, hit the space bar, and then type in the word radio, and then scroll down to Talktainment number 2, and you are there. While you're there, hit the subscribe and like button.
Please like us.
Yes, like us a lot. And also, you can go to Facebook.com/Talktainment, and you are there also. Okay, sports show coming up. Let's do this, Trent.
Okay.
And if you are listening and watching on YouTube, you may want to do that if we can get this up here. Trent, there was a very sad situation that happened in Dallas, Texas, what was it, a few weeks ago, almost a month, earlier part of this month?
Yep.
What was that? It was on a documentary that was on Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, but we thought we would lead off the show with that.
Right. It was the shooting of a young man, 15-year-old.
Yes.
15-year-old, I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name. It just blanked from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Edwards. That's it. Jordan Edwards was shot by a police officer by the name of Mr. Roy Oliver. Details are sketchy. They ran, they shot. There was a rifle, car, and had nothing to do with the actual murder of Mr. Edwards. And technically, if you follow the story or even read it, the only reason that Mr. Oliver was convicted of murder and sentenced to 15 years was his partner told the truth.
Yes, Mr. Oliver, I believe he said something about his life was threatened, or he felt threatened.
Yes.
And shot him with a rifle.
Shot him with a rifle.
It wasn't an AK, was it?
AR-15.
AR-15, into a car.
Yes.
With a bunch of black youth in there. Is that the way it was, Trent?
Yes, black youth in the car.
And they were at a party or something?
They were partying.
And what had happened?
Well, from what I understand, there was a disturbance or something, and the kids started running.
Yes.
And Mr. Oliver, so-called, feared for his life and shot an AR-15 into the car and killed this kid.
Now, evidence showed that the car was running or going away from them. Correct. After an order was given for them to stop the vehicle. His brother, I believe, was driving.
Yes, his brother was driving.
Mm-hmm. And the order was given to them to stop the vehicle. But Oliver, I understand, or as I understand it, said that the vehicle was coming at him and trying to hit him.
Hit him, right.
But what did the evidence show? His camera.
Yeah, the body camera showed the vehicle going away.
Right.
And he shot into the car.
And as I understand, he still was probably going to get away with it, right, until his partner showed up, or rather testified against him.
And what did his partner say?
His partner said that wasn't true, that the vehicle was coming at them. His partner said that the vehicle was going away.
Correct.
And he shot 6 times into the vehicle.
6.
And hit the young youth, a star. He was just a star of his football team.
Right.
In Dallas.
That's right.
And hit him in the head, and of course shot him.
And what's even worse is he only got 15 years.
Now, why do you say that is worse, Trent?
Because he should be in prison the rest of his life. That was premeditated murder.
And it comes to find out that when they did a background check on Mr. Oliver, that he was in the service and that he had some issues in there.
Well, if he was in the military, he's a trained killer already.
Yes.
He's a trained killer.
Right.
And that's what they do. They kill.
They kill. And he had some issues with that after he got out with that. And I understand that police departments all across this nation would prefer people who were in the military, to do things like that.
Exactly.
They want killers on this. So he was just reacting. Now, some people are trying to blame it on, what is that,
PTSD?
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
But the Dallas Police Department knew that this man had some issues, and he even had issues concerning his anger, even while on the police force prior to this happening.
Well, that makes him guilty too. So Dallas, the city of Dallas, y'all gonna be paying out a whole bunch of money.
I thought so too, especially since they knew his issues with that. But it was a sad story, and I wanted to bring that to attention, that if you are commanded by the police officers, please stop.
Yes. Absolutely.
Please stop. You don't want to be somebody's mistake.
No, you don't.
And it was just sad.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to this, Trent. What is this? Right. What is this brawl or thing between Malcolm Jenkins, former Ohio State wide receiver, and Eric Reed? What's going on here?
My man Malcolm Jenkins, safety for the Eagles, Super Bowl champs. I ain't mad at you. So evidently, Eric Reed and Malcolm Jenkins, they have a disagreement. Carolina Panther safety, Eric Reed, although he now has a job for playing with the Panthers, evidently he's holding a grudge against Malcolm Jenkins.
Why?
Reed and Mr. Jenkins have a history. And evidently it faced off during the start of this game. Reed and Jenkins, they're notable in the NFL players' fight against social justice.
Okay.
But the two have different approaches to it. Jenkins, of course, we all know has demonstrated during the national anthem with a raised fist. Reed, who was Colin Kaepernick's teammate on the 49ers, kneeled. Were they really different? No. But they have a difference of opinion. Jenkins is head of what's called the Players Coalition. Okay? And Reed and the Dolphins safety Michael Thomas left this organization. This is an organization was for the betterment of black causes in America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, Reed, I guess the beef, if you want to call it, and I believe it did get a little physical,
right?
Said that Jenkins had sold out.
Right.
Had sold out.
Right.
Because something happened where the NFL agreed to fund some organizations to the tune, it was either $81 million or $100 million.
$100 million.
$100 million?
$100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, $100 million to causes concerning African American communities.
Right. So there was a tremendous beef about that. Do you have any latest news on that? Any progress on that?
No. As of now, the two, evidently, I'm sure, are still going at it. But Reed had left the organization with some other players because Malcolm sent them information saying, is it okay if we settle this and squash all the demonstrations if the NFL donates this money?
Mm-hmm.
And Reed felt that Jenkins did not correctly notify him that he was going to do this along with some of the other players.
So, yes, sir.
Right.
Okay, now, do you feel, Trent, that it was a sellout job?
I do not. Why? Because $100 million is $100 million. the question is, does that perpetuate the end result of them not protesting? Or what are the results of them protesting, other than the fact that I don't watch the NFL anymore?
Mm-hmm. Okay. 1-877-932-9766 is the number that you would call if you would like to get on a subject or comment. You can do that. Okay, since we're speaking about brawls, last week, Trent, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets, I'm talking about LeBron James, Chris Paul, CP3, Rondo, and a couple others got into the brawl. What's going on here, Trent?
Well, evidently, CP3 thought that Rondo spit on him.
But when they got close, he thought that. Close, yeah. But wasn't there something that happened before that? Somebody got hit. The Lakers big man got hit, and Chris Paul was almost punched in the face.
Yes, and they went at it, and then Rondo, Rondo being Rondo, he ain't but 4'4".
Yeah, but he's not going to take no stuff.
He's not going to take no stuff. He's that scrappy little dog you just keeps nipping at you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got in Chris Paul's face, and evidently, I guess Rondo said he took out his mouthpiece.
Yes.
And spit may have flown off of the mouthpiece, but all you see is CP3 wiping his face off.
Did you see the video of that?
I did not.
Okay. I saw the video.
Okay.
And it did not look like to me that Rondo spit on him, but evidently Chris Paul felt something, and then it was on after that. Rondo's not going to be hit. We don't have. Yeah,
there's a video right there
right now. Yeah,
right.
As you can see there, it was a mess, and then there were suspensions that the NBA on fines handed down. Do you think they were justified?
Well, yeah. I mean, number one, fighting in a basketball game, there's no place for it.
Yes.
And you just don't do that.
Yeah, there it is right there.
There it is right there. Yeah, everybody clear. And they scrapped. Yeah, everybody should get fined. Y'all making hundreds of millions a year. Give up some money.
Give up some money, huh?
Send me some money.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Yes.
So you can pay that tab in Houston, right?
I need to go back somewhere south.
Yeah. Okay, flat Earth. Yeah, I want to talk about that too. All right, moving on, Trent.
Yes, sir.
This is not a good story here.
Uh-oh.
Everybody remembers Ray Caruth. He was the pass receiver for the Carolina Panthers back in the day.
Yep.
And I think he was having an affair with some other woman.
Yep.
His girlfriend or wife was pregnant.
Girlfriend.
Lead us on to that story, Trent, as much as you know.
Ray Caruth, he just got out of jail.
What? He got released?
He's released after serving almost 19 years in prison.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Wow.
19 years, Mr. Bobby. He served 19 years for... Here's the thing that gets me. He served 19 years for what they considered conspiracy to commit murder.
Now, he himself didn't do it, right?
Well, here's the thing. Technically, no. Caruth was...
Wait a minute, what do you mean technically?
Listen, let me explain.
All right, go ahead.
Caruth was convicted in 2001 for conspiracy to commit murder using an instrument with intent to destroy an unborn child and discharging a firearm into occupied property in the shooting of his girlfriend in 1999, which led to the death of Sharia Adams.
Okay.
So he had a hitman that he was hiring to do all of this. And they were going to do a homemade abortion.
Wow.
Because he did not want to pay child support for the child.
And so what happened in that?
So the mother died. The child was born prematurely and has cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy, yeah.
Right. And there was another daughter already living. I'm not sure if that's his daughter or was his girlfriend's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But the son that he had with her that lived now has cerebral palsy.
Now, I believe, if I know this correctly, that the girl's mother raised the child.
Correct. The girl's mom did raise the child.
And has been taking care of the child.
Has been taking care of the child.
The child is alive.
The child is
alive. And functioning. And now Caruth has gotten out of prison after serving the 19 years.
Right.
And wants to take care of his son and visitation and all that.
Correct.
What do you think about that, Trent?
Well, before he got out of prison, he first said he would not pursue to see the child.
He did?
Yes. That he would not interfere with the alleged girlfriend's mother taking care of his son. But now that he's out, he wants to do, and I'm doing air quotes for those on the radio, do the right thing and take care of his son.
Do you think that is the right thing to do, even though he tried to have the child aborted?
I say yes. Being a man's man, which is me, you do the right thing regardless of the situation. The child will probably hate you the rest of your life. All you can do is verbally commit to them that you're sorry and that if he needs you, you are there to help. You cannot force your life on this child. The child's already traumatized and suffering from cerebral palsy.
And will suffer for the rest of his life.
Yes.
Wow, that's a sad story.
Yes, it is.
Let's do this, Trent. TalkTameRadio.com is a 24/7, no-charge, worldwide broadcasting facility with hosts delivering on various topics such as news, lifestyle, sports, law, health, wellness, religion, politics. And here's one that I'm going to share with you. If you haven't listened to this program, then you need to listen to this program. And that is This is Libby. I believe we had her on. She called in a couple of times, hasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Ask my girl.
Yeah, very good. And teaching us about holistic living, issues that pertain to living the proper way, eating, talking about chemicals and things that are in our, just in everything. I was going to say food supply, but it's in everything.
Yes, it is.
But she gives you the lowdown on that, the kinds of fruits and vegetables that we should eat, meats and everything. Very good program, very good information, the latest drugs that are coming out, such as what cannabis oil can do. If you didn't know this, since 1974, the not Centers for Disease Control, but the National Institute of Health, under the direction of President Nixon, who commissioned the report to be done, does cannabis oil cure cancers? And the answer was, what do you think it was, Trent?
Yes.
The answer was yes. But they sat on that information for 41 years until 2014 before they released it.
Right.
So think about that. They knew this, but yet still they let all these organizations and so forth go on.
Right.
They didn't release that that information.
No.
My question is, why didn't they release that that information?
Because the money is not in the cure. The money's in the treatment.
Oh, man, you hit it right on the head. But anyway, Libby gets into those issues and more. And that show, This is Libby, is exclusive to TalkTameRadio.com. And all you have to do is look at the homepage of Talktainment Radio, and there's a listing of programs there, and the days and the times for each program, a little bit of bio that you have there. All that from TalkTainmentRadio.com, radio the way it should be heard. My name is Mr. Bobby, and my partner in crime is Trent McMurray, and we are here representing Talking Sports Plus with Mr. Bobby. And
I didn't do it.
You're listening to it on TalkTainmentRadio.com, radio the way it should be heard. Okay. All right, Trent, let's move right along here.
Okay.
Let's see the next story up. Look at this. Now, did you watch the World Series, Trent?
Yeah, I did.
Why'd you say it like that, bro? As if it was a chore.
It was a chore because, I wanted the Dodgers to win. I don't do nothing. Red Sox, come on. Where's my heart? My heart is in the Big Apple.
But and I think I know why. The big media pundits want the series want an East Coast, West Coast series.
Right.
Why do you think they want that, Trent?
They wanted the viewing audience.
That's exactly
across
right.
the whole country.
That's exactly right. You won't see it north and south, but you will see it east and west. Why?
Right.
Because New York is the #1 media market in the United States, I believe that is.
Yes.
And Los Angeles, or in that area,
Right.
is the #2 media market.
Right.
And they want that East Coast, West Coast thing.
Of course.
And that means they can sell advertising and whatever else they do on that. So that's why it's like that.
Right.
Everything else is basically just regional.
Yeah. Correct.
And regional is not going to sell. New York, L.A., Boston, maybe that's still L.A., the Angels. It's still there. But
Right.
that's what it's all about. It's all about the money.
And it's entertainment.
Well, the interesting thing about this particular World Series, Trent, was what?
The Dodgers had the talent.
And
They had the games won, and okay. Their lineup, whoever was doing the lineup, needs to be fired.
You sound like Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
When you say that.
They've got the talent, the teams, the players to beat the Red Sox.
Yeah, well, Stephen A. was on Ty Montgomery, which we may get to.
Right.
But here's the thing, in case it may have slipped your mind. The Dodgers had a black manager by the name of Dave Roberts. And Boston had another black manager by the name of Joey Cora.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in World Series history that you had a two black managers at the highest level of Major League Baseball that actually were coaching or managing, I guess, is in baseball.
Right.
And that was the interesting thing. In all the years of baseball, this is the first time.
Just now?
In all the years of baseball, this is the first time that two black managers met in the World Series.
That's awesome. About time.
About time. Now, they've had other black managers, in the World Series.
Right.
But this is the first time that
both teams?
Yeah, both teams had a black manager.
Okay.
And as you can see, to your chagrin, the Dodgers lost, and Joey Cora brought the Boston Red Sox home. And another reason why that is so significant, Trent, is that the Boston Red Sox under Tom Yawkey, which was their manager, they were the last team to have a black player on the team.
Right.
Boston had presented itself as one of the most racist franchises in baseball history.
What do you mean presented?
Well, I have to put it that way, Trent. They were presented as one of the racist baseball entities that came across. They took them a long time before they had a black player. But now look at it. When you go back in their recent history, it's all inundated with black players.
Yeah, recent.
Yeah. But now let's make no mistake about it. The reason why black players got into it is because it was a money thing.
Correct.
It was all about the money. And contrary to popular belief, Trent, Jackie Robinson was not the first.
You are correct.
Black player in baseball.
Correct.
Check this out. Moses.
Yes.
Fleetwood.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes. And what city was he from?
Tell me.
Detroit?
Detroit.
And what car did they name him after?
Fleetwood. Cadillac. Yes, he was very popular. Him and his brother.
Right. Both of them played.
Both of them played, I don't know why that little fact was kept out, but Trent and I did our research on that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and also he was, I know he was in Detroit, but I think it was from Ohio and went to Oberlin College.
Yes, he did go to Oberlin.
Yeah.
Him and his brother both went to Oberlin College.
Yes. Yeah, another piece of black history nugget that you may want to look up.
That is
okay,
true.
Let's see here, Trent. Let's do this here. Let's see. We're going to take the rest of the time for this.
Oh, Lord.
All right. This one is entitled Trouble in Buckeye Land.
Okay.
Trent.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to name your sources, but what the hell is going on in Buckeye Land? Can we have some Buckeye music? What the hell is going on in Buckeye Land, Trent?
You know, Mr. Bobby, nothing's going on in Buckeye Land. The media is trying to get ratings over nothing. Okay? Nick Bosa's gone. Okay? Get over it. I don't blame him. Nick, remember me when you get drafted, okay?
When you get paid.
When you get paid, when you sign for $25 million guaranteed the first year, just remember old Trent down here in the Capitol, okay? At least let me go with you to pick out the Bentley. But there's nothing going on. Folks are trying to bring up stories that, Urban is done. He's going to quit. He's still holding a grudge against Drake. That, because Purdue actually thumped us, which I called that 2 weeks prior. I said, y'all can't sleep on Purdue.
Yes.
And so they're trying to make something out of nothing. Okay? Here's the story. Okay? For every Buckeye fan and for every Buckeye hater out there, here's the story. Urban Meyer has a passing quarterback. He doesn't like passing quarterbacks. He's never had a passing quarterback. He's always had a running quarterback. Get over it.
Get over it, huh?
Yes.
Have you ever known a black man that's quarterback not run? Huh?
No.
No, neither have I.
No.
Haskins doesn't like to run.
And he said that. That's why he throws for 400 yards a game and sets records. Get over it. Quit being stereotypical about every black quarterback has to run.
Wayne Woodrow Woody Hayes would turn over in his grave if he knew that Ohio State could not get at least 100 yards rushing.
Correct.
They have completely abandoned the running game, Trent. And if you are a passing team, it is, of my opinion, Trent, that
yes,
you can pass on Ohio State because their secondary is not that good. Who's the secondary coach on that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, Greg Shallow is just
there you go.
Is the defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator.
Now, some of my people, Trent, have indicated that he should be fired.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not defensive coordinator, but I can tell you this: he ain't got Malcolm Jenkins. He ain't got the boys back there that he had back there last year. The talent is not the same. Not saying they're not good. I'm just saying they are not what we had last year.
I don't know about you, Trent, and maybe you can help me out on this.
Okay.
If it comes to a night game,
yeah,
even if it's in the shoe,
yes,
it seems like Ohio State loses 4 out of 10 night games. I can think about when Vince Young came here, night game, they lost.
Yep.
Another Texas team, I forgot who the quarterback was, but they lost that one. They lost against Oklahoma.
Yep.
They lost against Purdue at Purdue.
Yep.
A night game.
Yep.
They went to Northwestern when Jonathan Wells was running back. They got spanked there.
Yep.
I can't remember Ohio State winning too many night games. Now, somebody could say, well, in the Big Ten championship game, which was that night, they skunked Wisconsin 59-0.
They beat Penn State.
They've beaten Wisconsin. They've beaten a few, but it seemed like if you are a passing team,
correct,
you can get Ohio State.
Here's the deal.
Okay, give me the deal.
We're spoiled rotten.
What do you mean?
Like Urban Meyer said, I've only lost 9 games in my career.
Okay, that's commendable.
Okay, end of story. Get over it.
What do you mean end of story?
You play to win the game, okay?
Okay,
they've lost 9 games. Get over it. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, they need some fixing. They need some tweaking. They need some strategizing.
This is the greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game.
Right.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Right.
That's the great thing about sports.
That's the great thing about sports. Get over it. They're going to be okay.
So with the remaining games they have left, what is it? Nebraska,
Maryland,
Michigan State,
and that team up north.
Not can.
Yes.
Will.
Yes.
Yes. Think they will win all of them?
They're going to win the Big Ten Conference, and they're going to slide into number 4 seed. What? Don't y'all remember this picture? Don't y'all remember this movie?
What movie?
When did Ohio State win the national championship?
2012 was the last one, wasn't it?
What happened?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're going to go there.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm going to go there because if you don't learn, history is going to repeat itself.
Well, let me do this. Let me repeat myself here. TalkTeamRadio.com. We go where you go. Check us out on 94.1 WGRN. Podcasts are available. Download the TalkTeamRadio.com app to your cell or to your tablet. That's radio the way it should be heard. Stay right there. You like Steph Curry? Well, we got some Steph Curry talk coming up. and name the only player in NFL history to have two safeties in the same game and was a Hollywood star. All that coming up next on TalkTainmentRadio.com.